Well, joining us via Skype is Father Mike, one of the features presenters in Alterations and the Subject on Vocations video from Ascension Press. Father, thanks so much for being with us. Where are you right now?
Absolutely. Well, I'm in my living room. Since you guys are in your living room, I figured we might as well be in the same kind of setting. I'm in Duluth, Minnesota.
Nice. Hey, your
living room here on campus at the University of Minnesota Duluth.
That's a cool looking campus.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I think it was just funny. I just wanted to say about the last segment. At the library built in 1964, they only had 6 outlets. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that old, but I think they had electricity back then, didn't they? I mean,
yeah. Hey, you're gonna get us in trouble.
I don't know. 6 outlets though for a building built in 1964. Maybe just one room. I don't know.
Well, hey, tell us about Will You Follow?
Oh man, so it's really incredible. I got to be part of a project with Ascension Press called Alteration, and that's A-L-T-A-R, so like altar.
Right.
It's on the Mass, and the whole thing's about getting past kind of what we see on the outside of the Mass for teens and getting to the meaning and the mystery of the Mass. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, Mark Hart is the vice president of Life Teen. He's an author, speaker, this whole thing, and he kind of pioneered the whole thing. He was kind of the main driving force. But as we started working together on this, talking about the meaning and mystery behind the Mass, one of the ideas that these guys had was, you know, we can't have the Mass without the priesthood. And so we started working on this whole segment when it comes to what is the priesthood? What's a call to the priesthood really experienced like? What's it really felt like? How that discernment happens? And so as part of this process or project on the Mass, they decided, let's do something about the priesthood and the reality of like normal guys get called to this extraordinary vocation. And they came up with this maybe about, I don't know, 15+ minute segment called Will You Follow? And it's all about that question of, will you follow the Lord if he's calling you in this particular vocation?
Yeah, it's great. We're actually seeing some video of it right now, and what a wonderful piece you put together.
Oh man, these guys, I think this is one of the most cutting edge, or when I know people say that a lot, right? But I think it's one of the most excellent in when it comes to videography, when it comes to editing, when it comes to construction of a way to present the truths of the faith in this new way with the incredible, you know, HD cameras and incredible videography. It's awesome.
I watched it last night, Father, and really appreciated what you've done. And also in Alteration, I've watched the video, and I was telling you before the show that, you know, when I was a parish priest, and I still kind of am, I often would have teaching masses, you know, to help our religious education, faith formation program, and I think you probably did it the best that I've ever seen it done, and I encourage people to use that resources. I got to ask you, what are some of the opportunities and challenges to asking men to consider this call to priesthood?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, my 2 jobs here in the Diocese of Duluth. I'm the director of youth ministry, and I'm also the campus chaplain at the University of Minnesota Duluth. And so, you know, I get to come into contact with young men, both in junior high school and then college age. I think the biggest opportunity is that people are longing for a life that's kind of bigger than the life I think the world offers. And I think that one of the big things that people are longing for is, I want to make a difference. And not just like I want to take the reins and make a difference because that's how the world does it, as much as it is, I want to know what God has in store for me. And why did God make me? And that's, you know, you look back or think back to the original, you know, catechism. Or sorry, it's not the original, but the Baltimore Catechism, original to this century or without century, where why did God make you is the second question. And that notion of that so many young men and women that I meet are asking that question, why did God make me? Am I here on this planet for a purpose? And I believe in Jesus Christ, I believe in God, so I know I am. How do I find out that purpose? That's the hugest opportunity, is that there's a hunger to know why God put me on this planet. I think the difficulty, one of the biggest difficulties is, ultimately what it comes down to is fear. You know, I know this is myself. When it came to discerning a vocation of the priesthood, maybe, I don't know, Father Reed, if you experienced the same kind of thing, but I just kept imagining myself like as a priest. Like, so I go into the seminary as a normal human being, and I come out very weird. And I kept imagining myself in the future, like sitting in a rocking chair somewhere, looking out the window at the cold expanse of northern Minnesota, the wind's rattling you know, when I'm just stroking my cat, rocking back and forth, and like, that I'd be lonely. That was the big fear. And I realized that since I've been ordained, there's every vocation has loneliness, but there's been more love and more joy in my life since I said yes to the Lord's call than I can never possibly have imagined or hoped for.
I agree.
Well, you serve as chaplain for the Newman Catholic Campus Ministries at the University of Minnesota Duluth, as you said, and director of the Office of Youth Ministry for the Diocese of Duluth. These are great venues. Do they help encourage vocations, Father?
Yeah, I mean, yes, and I'm a soft sell guy. Like when it comes to vocation stuff, I'm all about. I know there's some priests that are really, really good about being like, hey, I want you to think about this. They'll name guys and they'll really call them out. And I don't know, whatever it is about my personality, I'm more of a soft sell, which is I just want to live this really, really well and joyfully. And what happens is in the course of any given year, we have anywhere from 2 to 5 guys who leave our program and want to go to the seminary because God's calling them. And I think that's one huge thing. Especially, it's also true when it comes to religious sisters. When young women see the joy of religious sisters, those sisters don't have to say, I think God's calling you. I think a lot of times they just recognize God's calling me to something bigger because they see just the joy of a life radiated. And that's, maybe I should be a little more hard in my selling, but
You're doing something right.
No, you're just a great example of a happy priest, and I completely agree with you. I mean, that's the soft sell that's really the hard sell. Now, this video, I want to get back to that just for 1 second. It's on YouTube, I believe. Can people grab that and use it on their diocesan website, their parish website? Tell us where people can learn more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go either to YouTube and just type in "Will You Follow," or actually there's a website called willyoufollow.com. And if you have ripping software, you can probably rip it from the internet. But you also can order copies from willyoufollow.com. So you have the DVD. It's great. It comes in the normal DVD package and everything. And so you keep it in your parish, and even if you don't have internet access, you have complete access to this little segment.
Well, I have to tell you, I wish I had a quarter of the energy that you have, Father. This has been a lot of fun. Very much appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
And you're a runner, too, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Well, good for you. I'm not. I'm a walker. That's all I can handle.
I'm a layered downer?
That's probably maybe even closer. Well, thanks so much, Father, for being with us, and have a great day.
Absolutely, you too.
All right, have a good summer, too.